Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Fikret Azizov. In this video, we're gonna explore a relatively new feature from Databricks called Lakeflow Connect. Databricks recently introduced a number of features with similar names. So before we go into specifics of Lakeflow Connect, let me explain differences between these features. First of all, we have Lakeflow jobs from Databricks. So they used to be called as Databricks jobs. They are great for orchestrating different kinds of workloads within Databricks. Examples could be notebooks, other pipelines, and you can include complex data flow controls within Lakeflow jobs. Another relatively new technology is called Lakeflow Spark Declarative Pipelines. These pipelines are great for data transformations as well as ingestion within Databricks. So for example, if you have different medallion zones, you can use Lakeflow declarative pipelines to bring the data between these zones as well as apply transformations. So this technology used to be called as Data Live Tables, or DLT in short, and recently Databricks have rebranded them as Lakeflow Declarative Pipelines. Finally, Databricks recently introduced Lakeflow Connect, which is mostly for data ingestion from different external data sources purposes. So let's see where Lakeflow Connect fits relative to other Databricks ingestion and transformation tools. Databricks offers a range of different technologies for ingestion and transformations. Some of them allow more customizations, whereas others introduce more automatic experience for users. Spark Structure Streaming is Databricks' code-first tool, and using that you can put pretty much any ingestion and transformation logic. However, it comes with a limited number of sources and destinations, and it requires a little bit configuration in terms of checkpoint location and some other things. Spark Structure Streaming has a great features like incremental ingestion, and you can use it for near real-time streaming or batch processes. Then we have Lakeflow Declarative Pipelines, which is also based on Spark Structure Streaming. However, it hides some of the complexities of Spark Structure Streaming alongside with declarative pipelining approach. This is also a code-first approach. However, it comes with some automation. On the other end of this range, we have Lakeflow Managed Connectors, which allow you to create ingestion pipelines using graphical user interface. Having said that, Lakeflow Managed Connectors allows some coding tools like APIs, which would allow you to generate these pipelines programmatically. Now, what is Lakeflow Connect? Lakeflow Connect is a collection of managed and standard connectors, which allow you to connect to different source types. And it includes also some incremental ingestion pipelines as well. So the short definition will be a collection of connectors and pipelines. Lakeflow connectors can be divided into two categories on a high level. These are managed connectors, which allow you to build low-code graphical UI-based ingestion pipelines. Some of these connectors use change data capture feature, especially when connecting to databases. These connectors are integrated with Unity Catalog, and these connectors allow you to build batch or streaming pipelines. Then we have set of standard connectors. You can use these connectors within your Spark Structure Streaming or Lakeflow Declarative Pipelines to extend their connection capabilities. Now let's take a closer look at different types of Lakeflow connectors. I have provided here some of the common managed connectors. You can see that there are connectors to some of the most popular SaaS applications like Salesforce, Google Analytics, SharePoint, Jira, and there are connectors that allow you to ingest from Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, MySQL. On the other hand, you have standard connectors. And as you can see, some of the connectors are in both sides. So for example, SharePoint connector can be used both as managed and standard connectors. Some other standard connectors that are available are Google Drive, SFTP, Kafka, Kinesis, and some other connectors. Please note that this list is not a comprehensive list, so you can find full list of all connectors in Databricks documentation, which I'm gonna post in the description of this video. And this list is growing constantly. How Lakeflow Connect works. Let me explain this on the example of two common managed connector types. So for SaaS applications, we have these four components where on the left-hand side we have a source. For example, it could be Salesforce. Then there is a connection object which is created on Unity Catalog side, and it becomes one of the objects within Unity Catalog. And then we have ingestion pipeline. And finally, this data arrives to a destination, which is typically Unity Catalog tables. For databases, the ingestion pipeline is a little bit more complicated. So besides source and the connection components, we have ingestion gateway, which is a pipeline that's responsible to bring your data from source to a staging storage. Staging storage is a Unity Catalog managed volume. So essentially data is brought here and dropped in this storage as semi-structured data and logs. And then we have another pipeline leg called ingestion pipeline, which brings the data to destination. So ingestion pipeline is typically Lakeflow declarative pipeline. In other words, the ingestion pipeline from databases has two legs, ingestion gateway and the ingestion pipeline. Lakeflow Connect pipelines are incremental, and the Databricks uses different mechanism to achieve this incremental ingestion. So for managed connectors on databases, Lakeflow Connect leveraged either change data capture or change tracking, depending of the source type. For example, if you take Microsoft SQL Server, you can use either one of these mechanisms, whereas some other data sources like Postgres or MySQL may have only change data capture feature available. As I mentioned, ingestion pipeline part of the Lakeflow Connect is based on Lakeflow Spark declarative pipeline, which is also leveraging incremental ingestion. Now, in terms of standard connectors, you can choose either Lakeflow Spark declarative pipelines or Spark structure streaming. Both of these technologies offer incremental ingestion mechanism which comes out of the box. So to summarize, Lakeflow Connect allows you to reduce engineering complex involved in building ingestion pipelines by offering the out-of-box incremental features. It also expands number of data sources for existing technologies like Spark structure streaming and Lakeflow declarative pipelines. And finally, Lakeflow Connect allows you to build ingestion pipelines using low-code graphical interface, which can also potentially reduce the time that's needed to build ingestion pipelines. That's it for today. In the next video, I'm going to demonstrate building Lakeflow Connect pipelines with managed and standard connectors. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe.